and welcome to Sharjah. We're moving in now to the 5th match in this Coca-Cola Cup series. It's been a hot series so far, not just from the weather, but with the standard of cricket played, and the points table itself is hotting up now. Australia 4 points, 2 wins. India beaten by New Zealand yesterday evening, 2 points, and the New Zealanders the same, and that assumes some very interesting proportions now for the two teams on the bottom. The Australians today are playing New Zealand, and Ian, it could be a pretty good contest.
Yes, usually are. New Zealand and Australia, great rivals, usually a bit of needle. And looking at that points table, a very important game for New Zealand. Obviously the first priority to get the 2 points. If they find themselves struggling to do that, then the thing will be to limit any net run rate damage, so that if Australia then beat India, New Zealand has still got a chance of getting into the finals.
One of the key men in that'll be Craig McMillan. He's been batting pretty well, and this is an example of his power.
Yes, he's become a key man in the New Zealand side, probably along with guys like Chris Cairns and Chris Harris, because he's doing a bit of both now. He's a very good, strong arm player, but he's also having played a lot of his young cricket in the one-day arena. He plays the one-day game extremely well, and he kept a cool head last night. I thought he played particularly well.
That's the winning hit last night. New Zealand, Lorne Howell, Nathan Astle, Stephen Fleming, Craig McMillan, Chris Cairns, Adam Perore, Chris Harris, Dion Nash, Mark Priest, Paul Wiseman and Simon Dool. Coach Steve Rickson. And the changes there are that Nash is in and Howell is in. For the Australians, 3 changes. Dale, Harvey and Robertson are the ones who come into the side. Ricky Ponting is out, Kasprowicz is out, and also Fleming. So it's Mark Waugh, Adam Gilchrist, Tom Moody, Michael Bevan, Steve Waugh, Darren Lehman, Damien Martin, Ian Harvey, Shane Warne, Gavin Robertson and Adam Dale. And the pitch report we have out in the centre now.
We've got 2 pitches here being used in this Coca-Cola Cup in Sharjah, and on both these pitches we've had 2 matches that have been played. Out of the 2 strips, I feel the pitch that is going to be used for today's game is going to be a little quicker, simply because I feel the other pitch is a lot drier than this one, and that you can make out by the color. This has a little darkish look to it, and that's why I feel there can be more runs made on this pitch than the other one. As the day progresses, this pitch gets really slow, the odd ball keeps low, and that's why I feel that the team that wins the toss again today would like to bat first.
And it'll be tough conditions. The temperature already is around about 43 here in Sharjah. That's the surrounding area to this ground. A splendid ground too. Looks good in the daytime, and under lights it is magnificent. Well, the players are out in the centre now with the umpires. Tony Gregg's in the combox, and with him Ravi Shastri.
Thanks very much, Richie. Yes, it certainly is a warm day today. This will test the Australians. A few changes in their side, so they've got a few fresh players out there. If you can feel fresh in these conditions, that's Adam Dale. Little opportunity for him. Just going through the practice routine there. They were out quite early this morning, the Australians, going through their routine. So Howell, just 12 matches, an average of 25, 450s. He's on strike. And Adam Dale swings it a bit early on his way now. First ball of the match. Well, Ravi, the New Zealanders did play well yesterday. I thought that they looked a totally different side. It may just be that if they can keep that sort of form up, we could have a good game in our hands here today.
A terrific contest we could have if they can get the runs on the board, a total of around 250. That'll be very handy. The performance yesterday has thrown this tournament wide open, and the Australians, even though they're playing very good cricket, cannot afford to drop their guard.
It looks as if it's going to be Harvey from the other end. Now, he's quite an interesting bowler. He has a very, very good slower board. In fact, he's got more than one. Disguises them very well. He's also got a little bit of step up. By that I mean every now and again he bowls a faster delivery. It's a good shot, well played, straight down the ground, mid-off there. Robinson just a little bit wide, and that really was a nice shot off the meat of the bat. Straight drive. Nicely played again, just a single that time. It's just talking to one or two of the Australian players. They seem in a really good frame of mind. Alan Border was saying just before the start of play that they seem to be enjoying the spot immensely, staying in a nice hotel in Dubai, Royal Abjar Hotel, which I think is now called the Renaissance, and wonderful facilities there. The 3 overs, 9 for nothing. Howell and Astle with captain Stephen Fleming due to come in at 3. Macmillan played well yesterday at 4. Cairns is dangerous at 5. Perore is a good player and playing well. He's at 6. So some good batsmen in this New Zealand lineup. Oh, well bowled. That's a beautiful delivery. Now, that's that quicker one I was talking about. And what's more, it was a Yorker as well. He does produce some very good deliveries. He's a very good one-day cricketer, Ian Harvey, and that was an example.
Well, he couldn't have got the Yorker better than this. Right up there in the slot, and that's a clean-up job. New Zealand have lost their first wicket here. Harvey is struck. 9 for 1.
Stephen Fleming is the new batsman with New Zealand 9 for 1. Lovely straight delivery. 89 matches, 3 centuries, 15 half centuries, just 25 years of age, young captain. And he's scored more runs than anyone so far in this series. 167 at a strike rate of 70, so he's had a good time of it. Just getting back to that Australian team, and it seems pretty settled. So I think the formula's right. I think they've got it right. Just like to see them rethink the Bevan scenario. I don't think he should go into bat before the 16th over comes up. Some pretty serious thinkers in the game as that one runs over the boundary at square leg, who reckon the ideal scenario for Bevan is to put him in just after the 15 overs over, regardless.
Yes, this is nicely timed on the onside, just helping it on its way. Just losing direction a little bit there, Harvey. He's got an offside field set for him. And Astle placed that very well, because there's a man at deep square leg. He had no chance. And again, and the result will be the same. That's an action replay of the previous shot. So consecutive boundaries to end the over, 20 for 1 New Zealand.
Well, some Aussie supporters down there enjoying the weather here. Well, they could be New Zealanders, couldn't they? In fact, they got to be New Zealanders. How do we know that? There it is, that much feared jumper.
Well, make your choice, Tony.
Oh, good shot. That's a wonderful cover drive. That's his 4th boundary.
Well, again, something that's remotely loose, and Astle has put it away in fine fashion. Good balance, right on top of the ball. Good transfer of weight, good placement. Boundary number 4.
Got a hand to that one, so that would have been 4 as well. He just likes any little bit of room that he gets outside that off stump. He loves to get the bottom man into it and smash it through the offside field.
It's a good thing about him today. He's looking to play a lot straighter. I think once he gets his eye in, he gets a few runs under his belt. I think then his confidence will allow him to play those shots square of the wicket.
Oh, good shot too. Nice placement. He didn't really smash that too hard. Robertson's the fieldsman after it. He's picked it up and all in one movement has got that one back.
So all of a sudden runs coming a little more freely and easily for New Zealand.
Nathan Astle on 21. Stephen Fleming 10. Lorne Howe bowled by Harvey for 2. Bit of a plodder with the feet, Lorne Howe. If he was on the beat, they'd call him PC Plod. That's 4. Don't get excited. Ricky Ponting is actually supplying drinks. So all he's done is picked it up and thrown it back and saved the short, fine leg feels in the run.
Ricky Ponting not only caught the attention of the spectators and the commentators there, but also the batsmen. They suddenly wondered why there was the extra man down at long leg. That's the reason that Ricky's been given a rest today, along with Michael Kasprowicz and Damien Fleming.
Fleming hitting the ball very well off his pads at the moment. In fact, hitting it so hard there that it's gone straight through Tom Moody's hands. Once again, very lackluster running. Should have easily been 2 there. Certainly is a good day for the sunglasses. Very bright out in the middle and hot. 43 degrees with a hot wind and a lot of sand flying around. Chance at mid-off, just wide of Tom Moody.
And pretty much off the meat of the bat. Tom Moody, I think in the end, made it far enough. But it wasn't until the ball was past him. He was actually over the top of it.
Well, that's well bowled. Astle looking at the stumps. Must have gone very close.
There was a bit of a clunk out there. It wasn't quite the clunk of ball hitting flesh. Well, I reckon it has clipped the off stump there. That was the clunk.
Robertson at deep backward square. 50 up for New Zealand. Astle on 29, Fleming 20. Oh, well caught. I'm not sure that Adam Dale even knew he had it there for a second, but it's a terrific reflex catch.
Wonderful catch, and Fleming was another who hadn't quite realised what had happened. I think it's true that it surprised Dale. Fleming just stood there stunned. That's a very handy wicket. He was in good form. Grabbed it, not at full stretch. Fleming's having quite a problem coming to terms with a 20 from 22, and it's 56 for 2 now.
Craig McMillan, young man who's become a very important member of this New Zealand side. Ian Harvey at third man. Adam Dale, who's a pretty good fielder, particularly off his own bowling, took a good reflex catch to get rid of the New Zealand skipper.
It was hit very well, and it was almost past Dale. I reckon he caught that just fractionally behind the line of his arm. That was a good effort.
Astle looking for 2.
Gavin Robertson will replace Dale. Robertson's already bowled 2 overs for 6. Dale finished with 1 for 30. And that'll be 4.
Well, that's a very good shot by Astle. He just got a little bit of width there, not too much, mind you. But he's been batting for a long time. He quickly read it and then whacked it past backward point.
Robertson just pulling it down just a little bit too much. One is a better flighted delivery. Shane Warne encouraging his teammates. See a little bit of drift in the air for Robertson there. Warren using the body well. Robertson will have to do it himself on this occasion, but he can't.
Robertson spoke a lot to Irapalli Prasanna during the Bangalore test. Say that it's helped him to understand the art of off-spin bowling a lot better than when he first came to India.
He told me he was suffering from information overload. He's got so much from Prasanna and Yadav and Vishen Bedi. He also spoke to him. Very keen on his art of spin bowling, Gavin Robertson, and very keen to speak to the experts, and he had 3 of them there in that group. But it'll take him about 3 months, he reckons, to disseminate all the information and try and put it all together so that he can use it. It feels as though he's already had a lot of benefit.
Oh yes, I think he looks a different bowler than when he bowled that first ball in the Chennai test match. You can certainly see that from the way he's releasing the ball. He's releasing it sometimes a little early, sometimes is holding on to it and getting the ball to drift a little bit. So although he might actually not have got down to sorting out all the inputs that he's had from the 3 top spin bowlers, maybe subconsciously he's getting it all together.
84 for 2, and some support for the Australian team in the stand. 21 overs have been bowled. Shane Warne will continue from the pavilion end.
Still just not really playing anything, any sort of shot really. And there's a big appeal. I think that got him on the toe. Well, I suppose the umpire would have thought that was, or hit him just outside the line. The replay will tell the story. Let's see.
Shane Warne got pretty excited about it all. He must have felt that it was going to go straight on. It's just clipped the toe. There's no way in the wide world an umpire can give that out, because he's got to assume in that situation that the ball is going to go absolutely straight on. Now, no umpire can start assuming things. He's got to have evidence. There was no evidence there. He made the correct decision.
So back for the second. Got to dive at everything. It's one of the things that happens these days. The fielders have a real go to stop the ball. Sometimes they just push it past the post, which is what Adam Dale did that time, so he had to get up and chase it. He bowled pretty well at the start of the day. Bowled very tidy, straight line. A little bit of swing for him early on. It didn't last too long. Well played.
Both these batsmen just tend to prop onto the front foot against Shane Warne. It's just the one movement, and it's pretty constant, no variation. And once you do that to Shane Warne, you're in a bit of strife.
Work here.
It's one of the reasons why they're being beaten a few times by Warne. It's also one of the reasons why Shane Warne has more than 2 wickets per game in internationals against New Zealand. They don't play him well. 33 wickets at an average of 14.
Oh, good running, Gav.
5 off that one. 89 for 2. Oh, there's some good shopping out there, I can tell you. The visitors to this part of the world go to the shops on a pretty regular basis. They reckon if you want to pick up a good deal in electronics, this is the neck of the woods to do it. Gold, of course, is one of the things that sought after, because it's pretty cheap here, and the labor content is not charged out at too high a price. It's a wonderful wonderful trinkets.
I've got to say, I admire your courage, Greggy. You keep bringing your wife over here during shopping festival. That's a very courageous move.
Yes, but she gets locked up. She's not allowed to go down there.
Bowling.
You take the key to the room with you to the ground, do you?
Yes, I think if you come down here, there's such an incredible choice. It's kind of walking down that gold souk, all those bangles and necklaces. And once you've done it once, you've pretty well done it.
Bowling, Gavin.
It's the sort of thing you just got to hope doesn't happen when you come to this part of the world, is that your wife doesn't fall in love with a carpet or anything silly like that, which you then have to transport home. Oh, that's well played. That's right off the middle of the bat. Oh, will it be out? What a cat. Oh, no, he stopped it. He's taken it over. Well, he came in from the corner down there. I didn't see him for a second. The fieldsman was at wide mid-wicket, came charging around, actually got it inside the boundary. I think Martin got it inside the boundary, then fell over.
It was a very athletic attempt. Craig McMillan's a noted big hitter. Damien Martin, who comes from Western Australia, an Australian rules state, looking to take the high mark there, and he very nearly dragged it in, but his momentum was always going to take him over the rope. That's a very good effort to there, and he juggles it. Couldn't quite hold it anyhow. It was a very good attempt.
So Craig McMillan onto 3 sixes, and so he's leading the Kit Ply and Kit Cole hit sixes and win competition. Astle 49 now off 85 balls. That's a little slow by his standards. Perhaps he's decided that this time he's going to try and hang around a little longer rather than score a real sprightly 40 and get out.
I don't think he's given his batting any thought at all today. It's just been one pace batting the whole time. He's just kept hitting the ball at the same speed, not looking to just drop singles and run. By doing that, sometimes you can bring the fielders in a little closer and open up a few opportunities to hit boundaries. But Nathan Astle has hit the ball very well, but he's just hit balls firmly at fieldsmen. Have a look at that, 57 dots. That's way too many in a one-day game. 57 out of 85. Way too high a percentage.
Yes, earlier today I was talking about the ideal scenario here, and talking about trying to get as near to 100 in the first 15 overs as possible. Now these guys have got 112, and already almost 28 overs have been bowled. There were 62 runs after the first 15. That's when all the fielders are in. So you've got to take a few chances up front there and get the score as near to 100 as you can. Then you can start cruising a little bit to set yourself for the end. And that single gets Astle to his half-century. Just a little acknowledgement there towards the dressing room. Zealander seem pretty happy about it. I think that he'll probably have a little glance up to the board now and realise that perhaps he's got to lift this run rate a little bit.
Coming into the 32nd over now, Tom Moody to bowl. Moody came on later than what you might term the normal situation. Ian Harvey was the one who opened the bowling from this pavilion end. 13 from the first 3 overs from Moody. Robertson's gone for 35 off 8.
Tom Moody, one of those players in the Australian team who can both bat and bowl. When you have players who can bat and bowl, the captain has got plenty of options. He can push in some player up the order, as he did with Tom Moody in the game against India the other day. Also use bowlers in short bursts.
Wonderful shot. You won't see much better than that. He's picked up what was a slightly slower delivery and smashed it away over, well, I suppose, extra cover. Perhaps it lined towards mid-off there, and it's kept going.
Yes, the beauty of the shot is that it's a cricketing shot. It's not a cross-batted shot at all. It's played with a full swing of the bat, as straight a bat as possible.
The New Zealanders not only looking good at this stage of the game, but they're well up in the sixes table also. Oh, that is a good shot. Flat and hard. So far, Nathan Astle has hit 2 sixes, but he's behind Craig McMillan with 3. Chris Cairns also has 1.
Look at that, with a full swing and a full face of the bat over there. This is a terrific shot.
Well, good shot, but there is a man out there at deep cover. 8 from that over, 135 for 2.
When it comes to the big boxing.
Scored fast, 20 from 22 balls before he was brilliantly caught and bowled by Adam Dale. It was a wonderful catch. The ball was just about past the line of his arm when he grabbed it. McMillan, 42 from 62. He's going along well. On the basis I was talking about yesterday, that I reckon if they're scoring at rate of 1.5, that's runs made to balls faced. In that case, we've got a figure of 63 for McMillan. He's actually only faced 62 balls. 64 for Astle, who also is ahead. So they're going pretty well. And as Suna Gavaskar pointed out, it's given them something to work on in the later overs in the match. 33 of them gone so far. Lehman to come on. Darren Lehman, left arm slow.
You get this one before, Buff. Sound.
Darren Lehman, one of Steve Waugh's options in the side, mainly as a batsman. But he can roll his arm over occasionally.
Good work, Robbo. Hey!
That's definitely worth having a look, I'd say. It's very well fielded by Gavin Robertson. Umpire Robinson was the adjudicator, and he's called for the replay, and I'm not surprised. There's not going to be much in it, even though it wasn't a direct hit. Sometimes you need direct hits in a situation like this. And it's history. That's a very good piece of fielding. Millen is the one trying to make his ground, and unsuccessfully. Or unsuccessfully, it seemed at first glance. Yep, red light. That's excellent cricket from the Australians. Robertson had to skirt around there and gather it in, and threw it flat and deliberately on the bounce. 139 for 3, McMillan out for 43, and that's a big wicket for Australia. Ravi Shastri has come into the commentary box now with New Zealand 155 for 3. Nathan Astle is going along very well, 73. Only 114 balls. And alongside Ravi will be Ian Chappell.
Thank you, Richie. And New Zealand here building themselves a nice platform from where they can press the pedal on the accelerator towards the latter stages of this innings. Nathan Astle doing a very, very good job. It's important now that he bats right through this innings. And a bowling change. Steve Waugh getting himself on. Yes, the thing about this knock of Nathan Astle is that he's played very sensibly. He's played a lot straighter too than his other innings in this competition. And Ian, really, New Zealand have got themselves into a nice little position here.
Well, they've got a good combination out there at the moment, Ravi, because you've got Astle, who looks as though he set himself, or the team have decided that they want him to try and bat through the innings. Then you've got Chris Cairns there, who can suddenly start belting some sixes and some fours. That's not to say that Nathan Astle can't. We've already seen him hit one over the mid-off boundary, a beautiful hit. But Chris Cairns is a noted hitter of the ball, very good striker of the ball. So he could really put the accelerator to the floor, and New Zealand could finish up with something decent and put themselves right in contention for a final spot.
Absolutely right. They get a score of around 240, 250. And, Australia will have to play really well to win from there, in spite of the depth they have in their batting. We've seen already New Zealand, a very competitive fielding side. Still some batting to come. There's Parore, Harris. And this will be 4 runs. Not quite where he intended to hit it, but luckily for Cairns, it's gone into the gap and into the fence.
Well, that's the strength of Chris Cairns. Just coming through there with the bottom hand and getting it past Tom Moody at mid-on, realising that Moody is up in the circle.
And this might be another boundary. So very good over for New Zealand. 11 runs coming off that. So 174 for 3. Astle still there, 76. Nice little partnership here developing between Astle and Cairns. The powerful Cairns on strike.
Tom Moody just holding his left hand there. Looks as though he may have either done some damage or perhaps even cut it. You see there, he just hits the marker with his hand, immediately starts looking at his left hand. That's the marker they use for the circle. Chris Cairns, a very powerful man. We've talked about how he can clear the boundary, but look at the balance here. Up on the toes as he plays that pull shot. Didn't go very high. It's a terrific follow there by the cameraman, but nearly carried over the rope. Very strong man.
Yes, he picked up the length there very quickly. This is a good performance by New Zealand. They were outplayed in the first 2 games of the tournament. At least in the game against Australia, they had their chances in the game against India. Good performance yesterday. Now they're following it up with a good batting performance here.
Nathan Astle has really, right throughout this innings, conserved energy. He hasn't done any extra running. He hasn't been charging when there wasn't really a 2 there. Looks to me as though the team tactic was right, you try and bat through the innings, Nathan, and give us a base. So if that was the tactic decided at the team meeting, it certainly has worked very well for New Zealand, because he has given them a very good foundation.
Yes, you need one man to play the sheet anchor's role. And just as we said, Nathan Lastil has been dismissed. Trying to hit it straight back down the ground. Played it a little too early, and Ian Harvey made no mistake on the follow-through.
That's a good catch, because the ball was hit pretty hard. And always when you're following through and you've got to move a little bit, as Harvey had to do, he had to go down and to his left, and he caught it very easily. That's a lot of skill required there. New Zealand 179 for 4.
So Adam Perori comes out to the middle, a very capable batsman. He's played 96 matches. He's got 100, and that was against South Africa 4 years ago. See, he's had a quiet time in this tournament. Played a very important innings yesterday in the game against India. This is the last man to be dismissed. Off a low full toss, good catch by Ian Harvey.
That's a very good catch by Ian Harvey, and as I say, he got there so quickly and easily. Very good athlete. One thing you know about Adam Perore, in this situation, he'll play sensibly. What he'll probably do is try and push the ball around and let Cairns have as much strike as possible.
We win the Best Banner Award.
Yes, he did play very sensibly yesterday. That's nicely played. Third man is a little too square. So the first boundary here for Perori.
Well, that's a terrific start. A 4 off the first ball. Delicate little late cut. That's the second time that Steve Waugh's been guided down there for 4. Won't thrill him at all.
He really kept his eyes on the ball there, because that was coming back into him.
One of the good things about Perore, apart from the fact that he's a sensible cricketer, he has the ability to work the ball into the gaps, but he can reach the boundaries pretty easily. He hit a couple of important 4s last night against India, just when New Zealand needed them.
Plenty of support here for both the teams. Some good support too. Good and pretty support.
Hold up your flag now.
Again, he's played the full shot well. This time you won't get a boundary for it. Couple of runs nevertheless to end the over. 8 runs coming off it. 42 gone, 187 for 4 New Zealand. Let's get a single for that. There is a man out there in the deep. Just biding his time here, Chris Cairns, before he decides to go for some big hits. It's a good run rate they're maintaining on the surface. By far their best batting performance in this tournament to date. There again, Adam Perori playing very sensibly. So the 200 coming up for New Zealand with that single.
Yes, it looks as though New Zealand are gradually acclimatising to the conditions. Australia, it's a little easier for them, having come from India, playing on some slower pitches. New Zealand probably haven't played a lot of cricket lately. And it does just take a little while to acclimatise to the slightly slower conditions. New Zealand batting a lot better today than they have done in their previous matches. And a pretty quick 50, that fourth one, coming from just 52 balls.
They've timed the acceleration very well so far.
So going to be looking at something around 230, maybe 240 if they get in a couple of big blows near the end. That'll be a very competitive score. Australia resting Ricky Ponting today, so there'll be a little bit of shifting of the batting order. Ponting has been very consistent of late.
So 6 runs of that last over, 202 for 4. So with 5 overs remaining and Warne continuing here. Take you through to the end of this New Zealand innings. It'll be Tony Greig and Greg Chappell.
Good running, mate.
Thank you, Ravi. Yes, a good performance by Shane Warne. This is his 8th over, and his figures no wicket for 21. Hasn't got any wickets, but he certainly kept it quiet. An economy rate of 2.93 runs per over. So that's what he's conceded per over bowled. Oh, he's hit that one. He's very strong, isn't he? That's a good shot, and it's bounced well fielded. Oh, that's beautifully done. That was a difficult one to stop. The ball bouncing down there, and Robinson running across and getting one hand to it.
Yes.
Great movement and great athleticism and great desperation from Robertson.
Well, Shane.
Just look at this. He gives it some room and then really does whack it in the air, and it goes bouncing away down to extra cover. Robertson had to fly around that boundary. Just managed to palm it back just before it crossed the line. Down the wicket he goes again and flicks away. That's a good shot. 4 runs. He's strong, isn't he? Well, he's the sort of player you want in at this stage of the match.
Dancing down the wicket, light on his feet like a ballerina there, and whipping it away, showing the strength that the commentators have been talking about. Just strong wrists, powerful forearms, and terrific placement. 41 not out from 43 balls, and this is a danger period for the Australians. If Chris Cairns keeps going in this vein for the next 4 overs, they'll have a target and a half to chase this evening.
There he goes again, backing away. Warne just a little quicker that time. The 7.5 overs, no wicket for 28. This is the last ball of the over, and then you'll have just 2 more after that. Rory playing his favourite old sweep shot. He does love it. 9 runs from that over. A good one for the New Zealanders. 211 for 4. Right, now where are the gaps? There's a gap at mid-wicket and one at extra cover. Oh, and there's also one at fine leg. That's a lovely leg glide. You're seeing more and more of those shots these days. We saw Sachin Tendulkar play it beautifully last time he batted, and this was well played too.
Just getting his foot across outside off stump so that he could get the ball slanting down the outside of his leg. It probably would have hit leg stump had he not made contact with it, but that's a very fine piece of placement.
Right in the meat of the bat, bouncing away down to the fieldsman at mid-off. Just one that time.
We've talked before about the talent that Chris Cairns possesses. He's a terrific all-round cricketer, beautiful athlete, strong, tall man.
That's well run. I think Perori's decided that while Cairns is in this sort of frame of mind, give him the strike. So Shane Warne guiding his 9th over. Australia need a wicket here. That'll slow them up a little bit. Down towards square leg again, and this one will probably, no, it won't beat the field as fieldsman. It's nicely picked up again. Bevan down there, and that's 50. 50 to Cairns, and it's been a very good knock too.
Nice round of applause from Shane Warne there, and the New Zealand teammates all responding to a terrific innings from Chris Cairns.
Oh, he's going to go for him. That's a big 6, a glorious 6, way up into the stand, up into the top deck. Well, he got that one beautifully. I think Warne was quite keen to tempt him, put a little bit of extra spin on it, and see if he would miss-hit it, but he didn't. That was a lovely shot. Oh, and again, and he's out, stumped. Well bowled, Shane Warne. I think that's what he was trying to do. You can see the ball before whack, it went straight down the ground for 6, and then beautifully stumped.
Flatter ball, the first one, that went for 6, and it went about 20 rows back in the member stand, up in the top deck. And then the flatter leg spinner this time. And Chris Cairns trying to work this one away to the leg side. Beaten in flight. No trouble for Gilchrist, and the end of a very good innings from Chris Cairns. And New Zealand lose their 5th wicket with a total on 229.
So Chris Harris once again in when it matters at the end of the New Zealand innings. 47.4 overs have been bowled. Shane Warne has 2 balls to go in this over. Oh, and he might have to re-bowl that one, yes. Well, the Cairns 50 coming up in just 48 balls. The fastest 50, Sachin Tendulkar, 44 balls. And, of course, Shell have a prize for that. Fastest 50, $1,000, the Shell prize. Ingle. And that wicket brought up the 150 wickets in one-day internationals for Shane Warne. This is how it happened. Beat the outside edge, nicely taken, bails off. And that was the end of that. He knew it. He didn't even try and get back. And there are the 150 wickets. An economy rate of around about 4, an average of 23. Wonderful bowling. Fielded. 11 runs and a wicket. 231 for 5. It's turning out, as usual, to be quite a